This is video number 80 for violin and viola players. In this video, we're going to be on page number 33, and we're going to be learning another new note, C natural, on the A string. We're, of course, going to do some reviewing things first with our F naturals that we've been working on the last couple of videos. I need you to have your book, I need you to have your instrument really well in tune, and I need you to have a tuner on your stand, because you're going to be using that to learn to play these notes in tune, okay? So, go ahead and pick up your instrument. It's already really well in tune. If it's not, pause the video, get it really well in tune, and play 4 F naturals. Now remember, if I just say F, that means F natural. Play 4 F naturals, echo me. And go. F, 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 F. 2 E's, 2 F's. Watch that tuner. And go. 2 E's, 2 F's. Okay, now do D, E, F, F. And go. D, E, F, F. Now do D, E, F sharp. And go. D, E, F sharp, F sharp. 2 G's, 2 F sharps. F sharp. And go. G, G, F sharp, F sharp. 2 G's, 2 F naturals. Low 2 now. And go. G, G, F natural, F natural. Now I want you to do this. I want you to do 2 A's, 4th finger, and then 2 F naturals. That is a big old stretch. 4th finger to low 2. 2 A's, 2 F naturals. And go. 4th finger, A, now low 2, low 2. Now do A, G, F natural, 4, 3, 2. And go. A, G, F natural, and upwards. F natural, G, A, 2, 3, 4, low 2. And go. F natural, G, A, A. Okay, now, look over. What we're going to do today is actually pretty easy. The new stuff for today is actually pretty easy. Look on page number 33. You're going to learn C natural on the A string. I bet without me telling you anything, you know how to do it. If you understood the last couple of videos, you got this, because all you got to do, so C sharp was high 2 as we now know it, okay, because we have 2 different places for our 2nd finger. 2 fingers on the A string, on the tape, high 2. So that's a sharp. Remember, the positions are sharp, natural, and flat. You take a sharp note, you lower it to make it natural. Low 2. Scoot your 2 back to your 1 on the A string. It's the same thing as F natural, but on the A string. Easy. Play 4 C naturals on the A string. Echo me. And go. C natural, C, C, C. Now 2 B's, 2 C's. 1 and 2. And go. B, B, C, C. Now do 2 C's and 2 D's. Notice I'm just saying C. I'm not saying C sharp. 2 C's. That's C natural. And go. C, C, D, D. Now do this. 2 D's, 2 C sharps, D and C sharp. Echo me. And go. D, D, C sharp, C sharp. Now D and C natural. D, D, C natural, C natural. Now look at number 130. So we got to be working with key signatures and accidentals. Remember, accidental is something that doesn't belong in the key signature. So look at 130, look at your key signature. It says 2 sharps. It's D major, and it means that all of the F's are sharp and all of the C's are sharp. They're going to be sharp unless you see a natural sign, right? And remember, how long does a natural sign last? It lasts for the measure, or unless a sharp sign takes over. Okay, so look at 130. Now it says all F's are sharp and all C's are sharp. Well, you're only playing 1 note in 130, and it's a C natural the whole time. Now remember, not every C has to have a natural sign next to it. The natural sign is good for the whole measure, or unless a sharp sign takes over. So all of those notes at 130 are C naturals, every single one of them, okay? I don't think you need to shout about this one. Let's just play it, okay? Low 2 on the A for C natural. 1, 2, right, C, and go. C. forte, off. Now, I do need to explain one other thing about how the naturals work, okay? And I'm gonna have to show this twice. I'm gonna have to show it for viola and for violin. This is gonna be for violin. This is gonna be for viola. Oh, I can't spell viola apparently. Okay, so violins, let's say that you're in a measure and you have a key signature that has 2 sharps, which means that all F's are sharp and all C's are sharp. Sorry, there's not enough room on there here. That means this note here is sharp, and then also this note here is sharp, okay? But what about if I have a natural sign next to the F? I'm going F natural. Is this going to be still, we have a natural sign in here. Is this going to be C sharp? Yes, it is, because the natural sign has to go along with the note that it's next to. What about this one? This is still F natural. Now let me show you violas on yours. You have the same key signature. You have F sharp and you have C sharp. I'm going to draw an F, a C, and an F. Now, sorry, this is so squished together. Right now, this is F sharp, this is C sharp, this is F sharp, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is put a natural sign next to this first F. This is now F natural. This, however, is still C sharp. The natural sign is only good for the F's in that measure. This is also F natural, because that natural sign is good for the whole measure, but it's only good for the F's in that measure. It's not good for the C's. If they wanted a C natural, you'd have to put one here, because the key signature says all F's are sharp and all C's are sharp. The natural sign only goes with the note that it is next to, okay? But it's good for all of the notes like that. If it's next to an F, it's good for all of the F's in that measure. If it's next to a C, it's good for all of the C's in that measure. But it's not good for both F and C. It only works for the note that it's next to, okay? I want to make sure I clarify that. Now, look at 131. 131. Look at your key signature. F sharps, C sharps. Look at measure 1, D, C sharp, D, and then D, C natural, D, okay? Shadow bow, 131, should be easy, shadow bow 131. 1, 2, shadow bow, go, D, now C sharp, 2, rest, lift, D, now C natural, now repeat, D, now C sharp, 2, rest, lift, C natural, 1, take, 2, take, rest. Okay? Now let's play that with the repeat. 1, 2, 131, and go. D, now C sharp, rest, lift, D, now C natural, low 2, back to D, 2, and repeat. D, C sharp, and go on. D, C natural, 2, rest, rest, okay? Go on and look at 132. And guys, I'm going to skip that part about chromatics right now, okay? There's just, we'll get to that at some point, but not in this video. Now, look at 132. You may have noticed that 131 was just like 127, but on the A string. 132 is very, very similar. It's almost just like 128, but on the A string. Almost. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. So, look at the key signature. We always look at the key signature first. All F's are sharp, all C's are sharp. Unless you see a natural sign. And then, the natural sign is good for the whole measure, unless a sharp sign comes and takes over, which happens in this one too. Okay? So in this one, we're going to be sliding that 2 around back and forth. Okay? Now, so look at measure 1. D, D, and then it's C sharps. Because there's nothing else in that key signature, so we go by the key signature. I'm sorry, there's nothing else in that measure, so we go by the key signature. Okay, the key signature says all F's are sharp and all C's are sharp. Look at measure 2, The first note clearly is a natural, a C natural, a low 2. The second note, natural sign is still good, so we're still natural. Now the sharp sign has taken over. For the last two are C sharps. If you got it on 128, you're going to get it here. If you didn't get it on 128, go watch the video again, okay? Because I want to, it's the exact same thing. All right, shadow bow, 132. 1, 2, shadow bow, and go. D, now C sharp, now C natural, back to sharp, high D, C sharp. Now careful, half note, slow bow. That's the part that's different. Second line, C sharp, C natural. Now back to C natural. Slide it up, C sharp. Okay, if you are a little confused about the sharps and naturals, feel free to watch this part again. I'm calling out the sharps and naturals all the time on this particular one to help you know when to play sharp and natural. If you're ready to play it with me, play it with me. If not, rewind it and try that shadow bowing again. 1, 2, 132, and go. D, C sharp, C natural, C sharp. Back to high D, C sharp. Now slow bow. And second line, C sharp. Slide it back. Now B. Low 2. Slide it up. Okay, so once you can do those pretty well, you'll be ready for the next video. The next video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to deal with some other key signature things as well. Okay, not as many accidentals, but some other key signature, some more key signature information. Hopefully by the end of the next video, you're really going to understand how key signatures work, how naturals work, and how they work together and sometimes against each other. Okay, but keep working on doing a lot of echoing, not echoing, but with your tuner, making up your own thing, C sharp, C natural. Practice even with the 4th finger on the A string, even though you haven't officially learned that note yet. You can probably figure out what it is, but practice a lot with your tuner. It's very tedious and kind of boring, I get it, but it is the most efficient way to learn how to play those notes in tune. I have people that can't play them in tune after a year because they don't take the time at the beginning to really make themselves play it in tune. Use your tuner, it's your friend, it is. So practice with your tuner with those notes, and you will get this, I promise.